1 month ago, I made 50K in revenue. I hit my milestone, which was 100K in the business.
I did 19 this month. I did 18 last month. So it's getting more consistent around there. The hardest thing was like, you said, why is it so hard for people to make 10K? It's hard before you get there.
I feel like that's the hardest part, is reaching that first 10K or like being at...
Adding that first zero, yeah.
That's really hard because like you're having to do things that you've never done before. So then when you go from 10K to 50K or 100K, you already know what works.
Doing more. It's because you develop those traits from 0 to 10, and then those traits that you gain, you just have to do more of from 10 to 50, 50 to 100, and past that as well.
People will not make change until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
Where we at right now? Why are you guys out here?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So you don't get what?
So I don't get fined.
Yeah. Everyone introduce themselves. Who are you?
I'm Joey. I crashed the party.
yeah, you came last minute.
He's a special guest.
Yeah. We got Joey here. He was out last weekend. Oh my god.
What's up, everybody?
Freaking this sound. Joey was stuck in the business. He needed to make a little bit more money, so he came out and we fixed a bunch of shit for him. Was it valuable? Was it good? Introduce yourself, Jace.
My name is Jace. I am from Chicago, Illinois, and the reason I'm out here is because I hit a milestone in my business. 1 month ago, I made 50K in revenue, and so yeah, pretty exciting stuff. And we're out here with Nolan. Nolan.
I am Nolan.
Everyone knows Nolan.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't get the whole spiel, right? Yeah, I also run an agency in Wisconsin, and I'm moving now to Arizona. I'm going to be running in both, and I hit my milestone, which was 100K in the business.
So we literally, I was like, who was it initially? I think it was it you? And I think you're like, Jace, you hit 50K yet? And he was like, yeah. And then Nolan was like, Ridge, what do we do if we hit, like, what are we going to do if we hit these goals? Because yours was 100K for the month and yours was 50. Yeah. And I was like, fly out to Austin and we'll go like shopping and do crazy shit. And then he was like, bet. And I was like, I honestly didn't really think, I believed you could probably do it. I didn't think you'd do it. Yeah. No, only because like, how much did you make like 2 months prior?
2 months prior, total, I was probably... the first 2 months I was doing it, I made 60,000, and then the next month after that I made like 10,000. It was a really low month, and then the month after that I made 25, and then going into January, that's where I hit the 50K. And I commented on your post in the Slack channel because you hit 100K, and I think you asked me like, "What are you at?"
Yeah.
And I said somewhere around like 47 or something like that. And I know there's like 1 or 2 days left in the month, and you're like, you better fucking hit it. Yeah. And then I sent you a message. I was like, hey, just to let you know, here's screenshot or 52 or something like that. Yeah. And so yeah, it was like literally like a buzzer beater moment, and then so that was awesome. That was
Speaking of buzzer beater, we had a pretty good basketball game the other day. We all fucking died.
Yeah, that's what this is from. He smacked me.
We should just stick to making money right now.
yeah. We probably don't need to do that. Okay, let's talk about I'm gonna do my stuff first. Of course. What do we all do? We all sell kind of similar stuff, right?
We make people more money. That's what we do.
Say it again one more time.
We make people more money.
Yeah, with advertising,
Exactly.
we run ads.
Yeah. What I mean, fundamentally, like, what was the issue prior? Like, when you guys were just making videos, you were doing something totally different. You were a contractor working for, like, a production agency, a production house.
Yeah.
You guys were, dude, you were bouncing around doing a bunch of different stuff, and you were...
Doing YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. You were doing YouTube.
Yeah.
Shut up and cut.
Yeah, you were already in that entrepreneur world. You were already working with businesses.
Yeah, he was just bad at it.
I was doing everything. I was doing like restaurant shoots, and then the next day it'd be like a family photo shoot, and then it would be like back to something around business of like an event photos, and then it'd be like another video job. It's just like it's what most videographers or photographers are doing in their agencies, if you even consider it that. Yeah. You know, it's just like being a pony for everybody of like doing everything.
It's crazy because I've known this guy for 6 years now.
It's been a while.
I've literally seen him grow from nothing. You know, we're doing free car photography shoots and
literally nothing.
Now he's living the life. You know.
Yeah,
what
I
mean?
met you at
awesome.
1,500.
Yeah.
You're 1.5K.
Yeah.
And all you did was add 2 zeros. Like, that's fucking cool. Is that 2 zeros? 1,500 to 15,000 to
3, 2.
2 zeros. 2 zeros minus 50.
Holy shit.
Bro, it's so funny, like, hearing how much money you guys make. But then we're out there being like, wait, what's 7 plus 5?
Dude, we were out the other day. You're like, dude, we should not be able to have
It's
this much
funny
money.
watching-
we do not.
It's funny watching your sales calls. You're like, I suck at math. Let me just pull up my calculator and figure out what it is.
Yeah.
What's special about you guys though? Good, Joey, you're doing like what 20K, pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm the brokest here. But yeah, so I'm doing like I did 19 this month. I did 18 last month. So it's getting more consistent around there. What was your question?
You got. Well, I was asking where you're at in revenue. You guys were OGs, both of you. You were like,
I was 6 months behind.
I was scared when he joined because he like I thought you were going to like surpass me really fast. Not to say you still can't, but I was worried, bro, because you're like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I was like, oh fuck, like.
And I did
And
for
you
2
did.
months.
Well, but I mean, you still are though, because you joined in debt, you know.
Yeah, I came in. I had
yeah.
like I had a video of it just because I knew that was like the lowest point that I felt.
have I ever seen that? I don't think you sent it to me.
I probably won't.
I need to see it.
I
Just
can
I'll
show
keep
you.
it between us. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I'll show you. It's
I want to
fine.
see it
Like
though.
I'm sitting there and I'm just like, dude, this is the lowest my bank account's ever been. And like the week before it was at like 500. This time it was at like 2, and then I was like, boom, in debt. And I was like,
Did you film the latest video now, being like, here's where I'm at now, so you can see the juxtaposition between
I
both?
have, but not one where I'm like excited about it because like right now my bank account was at right now it's at like 50, right?
What'll make you excited?
100. And that's the conversation I've been having with you guys all week.
Yeah.
100K in the bank.
100K.
Yeah, that was the goal.
What
Yeah.
happens when you reach that?
I think some of the stress will come off, right? And as soon as the stress comes off, like the weight, I think I'll just plow through it.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the hardest, and we were even talking about it, like the hardest thing was like, you said, why is it so hard for people to make 10K? Like, why is it so hard for people to get to 10K? And it's hard before you get there. But after you get there, like
I feel like that's the hardest part is reaching that first 10K or like being at
adding that first
consistently.
0, yeah.
That's really hard because like you're having to do things that you've never done before.
I think,
It's a
yeah.
belief.
But then when you go from 10K to 50K or 100K, you already know what works. You're just trying to improve those.
Yeah, you're just doing more. It's because you develop those traits from 0 to 10, and then those traits that you gain, you just have to do more of from, 10 to 50, 50 to 100, and past that as well.
Yeah.
It's just like you need the foundational skills in the very beginning to plow past and get to that initial 10K per month mark. And then after that, it's solely belief and then continuous implementation of the basics over and over again at high volume.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think is the biggest shift? First of all, why is it so hard to get to that initial 10? And then why specifically does it change and become significantly easier past that?
People jump around too much, like with sales, with whatever else they're doing. Like even in sales, if you are trying a trillion different sales scripts and techniques, like you're not going to be successful because you're not committing to one thing.
Right.
And then on top of that as well as they're not, they don't trust themselves. Like I think that's the biggest core belief is
Yeah.
confidence and trust in like yourself, because like then you can sell anybody. But if you have no confidence in yourself, people are going to recognize that and realize that and then be like, oh yeah, I need to think about it.
Yeah,
And
you
then-
said something super important there. Like they jump around from everything.
Yeah.
Like last night, all 3 of us were working, right? 100, 50, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Last night we were working, and I'm doing my best to just do the one task. And I'm looking over at Nolan. I'm looking over at Jace. They're dialed. They're still moving. They're like no thought, no nothing. They're getting their shit done. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there struggling to get ads up, like mentally. I'm like, come on. I got 3 up last night.
Don't look
In
like
the
a
same
chump.
amount of time you got
37.
like just the output is insane. Like it just, I'm 28, he's 24.
23.
Just dialed. Like that's the skill I need to learn. It's just
But it's also-
and I saw it in real time though.
Like I said though, it's like you develop that, because I also was like that, where it's like I don't even know how to get 3 ads up, but then it's once you learn it, then it's just doing more of it. So that's that more part once you develop that trait.
Why is it so hard though for people? Because you guys can attest to this. People be in like the content, like the video space, trying to figure out how to make money for years, bro. Like I've talked to guys doing it for a decade plus,
Ego.
And they can't get past 10K a month consistently. Which at the end of the day, is it hard to make 10K a month? Like genuinely.
No.
No, because I was still doing it as a freelancer, like in the sense of like jumping around.
Let me rephrase. Now that you have context on what it actually takes to hit 10K per month, if you were to take that from the beginning stages of when you started your business, you'd probably be able to get there a little bit faster than it took you
Oh,
when you first started.
It probably if because I joined the program and I didn't do anything for 2 months because
This dude joined. He didn't even hop in any. He did like one call with me. Didn't do any of the rest. And then you like wouldn't.
don't do what I fucking did, okay? I did nothing for 2 months, and then I paid the price. And then, that first month I actually committed to everything is when I got my first client, and everything else went to shit. But anyways, I got, that within about 4 weeks later, I made that, first 25, 30K.
Yeah.
And then, did the same the next month. And I think the reason why people are just, like, scared to, I wouldn't say scared, but, like, it's hard to hit that 10K is because you're so, like, stuck in your own ways.
Yeah.
Like you're comfortable almost, like, going through the same routine, and, like, you're fine with where you're at, but it's like, what do you ultimately want for yourself? Do you actually want to make more money? Do you want to start a business? Like, that's what you really need to ask yourself.
But what's most important too, though, is like everybody says don't forget your thought. Everybody says I want to make more money. Everybody says that. Mm-hmm. Why is it that like less than 1% of people actually do it?
What I was gonna say on that is like I don't think they think it's possible, because honestly, when I came out in person and we did all the KPIs and we're like, okay, what do we want to hit? I think we said the benchmark of hitting 40K.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible, honestly.
Even when we reverse engineered the numbers and we're like, dude, if you just hit this number and this number, you will, as a byproduct, the math tells you you'll hit it. It was still difficult for you to believe.
The most I had made, I think, was like 20, like max. I was like, there's no way I could do 40. Like I didn't, but I had confidence in myself. I didn't believe it, but I just knew that like I would just do whatever it took, and also just do what he said to do, of taking those steps. And then I hit it in 2 months, like from being at 16 or 20.
And to break it down simply, what was it that brought you from 20 to 40?
Yeah, the biggest like needle movers.
Sales, right?
I think sales, but more so like systems and team. I think people are afraid to delegate, which is like a really big thing as well. Like when you're at that, let's say even 15 to 20K, you still have like all the hats on in most situations of like doing sales. You're doing you're calling your leads. You're doing all the shoots and all that type of stuff, and you always want to have your touch on it. And removing yourself is scary, but you have to do that if you want to scale, because then you can't get more customers and you can't service those customers.
Well, it's a combination of like being afraid to hire, but also like not having clarity on who to hire and when at what point,
and then staying stuck because you don't know how.
Speaking from experience, bro, I went through 4 actual employees. Like I started off hiring W-2s, put them on payroll, was paying their freaking taxes. Like I was paying for all the fees and stuff. Yeah. I'm getting PTSD thinking back on it. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like I hired a marketing director, and then I hired a videographer, and those were my people. When I was doing around 20, 25K a month, we had a few, and we had clients that were paying around 5K a month retainers. So like decent number, right? And I had no SOPs, no structured processes. We were delivering each client we're doing videos for, but like this one client, we would do website videos and then like retargeting ads because they had cold traffic dialed. And then another company I fucking built a website for like this gold, silver, precious metal company. Like I was building a website for them, and then I was doing YouTube videos for this other one. I was so spread. Yeah, exactly. And that like being a jack of all trades and not specializing in one outcome for like one type of avatar is what kept me stuck. And also having employees that didn't have structured job descriptions. They were also wearing multiple hats, right? And like I was expecting them to do a bunch of other shit just like I was. And then they lacked clarity. They didn't know what to take initiative on, right? So many of us are like, well, I wish my people took more initiative. They don't know what to take initiative on because you have them doing 7 different roles, right? They don't know what their KPI is for success and why they're being paid and what they need to accomplish in order for their role to be justified. And so on that note too, it comes back to hiring a good team and having them perform. Their success always comes back onto you and your ability to lead them properly, right? So like the first thing I always say whenever we're talking to guys that are like, man, I just wish my VA took more initiative and ownership and would come to me to solve problems. And I look at them and be like, well, have you given them the clarity, the SOPs, and the processes to have the clarity on what to take initiative on? And most of the time, they're like, no. Like the Jocko's book, what's it called? Extreme Ownership. Yeah. You guys read it? Just fucking great book, right? Simple concept, but it's so true, and it's so difficult to do in application. But anyway, clarity on who to hire, but then actually then hiring and leading properly. Like leadership is probably one of the more difficult. This is what I'm learning now, right? Once you get to like 100K, that is when it is less about sales, SOPs, processes, and like just implementing and turning a gear system. And then the skills you have to build at that point shift from like go from 100K to 250K. And I'm learning this very strongly is leadership and like actually tasking high level like A players to do their job properly and then paying them appropriately. That is very fucking hard. Like that makes sales, marketing, ads, data tracking, it makes all that stuff super easy. Like compared to that.
It's a good thing you say that, because when last month, January, when I hit that 50K benchmark, it was all because I did hire that, my VA, who is the same VA as Nolan.
We all use
but
the same
it's like I saved so much time in the grand scheme of things. Like if I would have time blocked everything, I saved a lot of hours because I was just delegating other tasks for her, and I had more time to take more sales calls or put people on the calendar for filming their ads. And it's funny because like last night, me and Nolan were having a conversation about like, dude, you just hire a videographer. He's like, just make a job posting. And then literally like an hour later, I had a job posting, and then now today I have 5 applications that I have to review.
Why,
So it's
why
like,
were you scared to? Or maybe not scared, but why didn't you?
that's a good
Like
question.
because you said for the past 3 weeks that you've had to shoot almost every single day.
Yeah, I'm in the thick of it right now. I'm in the thick of it. And
So,
I think
yeah, that might be it. Is
I
like
think-
you're in the business, not working on it.
maybe the one thing, if I'm being vulnerable, I think the one thing that I'm scared is like just finding someone who genuinely cares about like what they're doing with the client. Like not just going out there and collecting a check, but like genuinely getting the best footage that they possibly can so that we can have the best ads and they can get the best results. And I know you got a great videographer, and that's what I'm trying to implement in my business. So
You knowing that you need to do that though, what made you not do that for the last 3 weeks? Is it just because you've been filming, or is it?
no, I
your mind
think
been in
it's
other
just
things.
like I think what's important to me is like building a strong relationship with my clients so I can continue to retain them. And the only way to do that is like, well, not the only way to do it, but the only way I thought I could do it was
Is
like
if you're filming.
being in the
Yeah.
business and like being in there with the client filming the
Yeah,
ads.
that makes sense.
And now it's like I'm just I want to scale the business, so it's like fuck it. Let's put a job listing out there and then see what happens.
What are the 3 things required in order to have team members take ownership, accountability, and like genuinely love their role and like perform really well? 3 high-level things: mission, vision, values. Also, something that I'm learning how to get a lot better at right now too is like you can't expect someone to take ownership and love what they do and treat your clients well and like perform really well in your business unless they are clear on the vision, where we're going to be going long term, 3, 4, 5 years from now, where we're going to be as a company, so they know what to build towards. Because if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel and it's just all pitch black, you're just moving with no end in sight, right? So vision needs to be super clear. Mission, why are we doing this? And it needs to be so much more than just like want to provide great results for our clients, but like why? Like a good example is we want to work with local service businesses that don't know what it's like to be able to buy the time back, have consistent lead flow, spend more time with their friends and family, pay their people properly, and impact other lives at higher volume because they have more clients now to solve bigger problems with the offer they have. That's like an example of mission, right? We want to do that at scale, as many people as we can. And then values, like what are the core values that you as a company, as a team embody, and they need to embody in order to actually be appropriate members of the team. Do you guys have that?
What do you mean have that? Like have it structured?
Like written down
on
somewhere?
paper, yeah.
I don't have it written down somewhere, but I talked to my team about that. Of like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. How important is it?
I think it's massive because otherwise that's where burnout comes in and like people leaving. Because like my my VA, I think a really big thing for her is that for one, like she's able to provide for her family, but she also knows that she's providing in a way or helping provide for my clients' families as well.
Yeah.
And like that's a really big thing. I
Also,
think.
also money. Like people want to make more money, so it's like making sure they're getting paid appropriately too, and they're able to work up to something, right? Like they have, so like we'll set specifically like our commission guys too. We'll be like, cool, we're gonna start you off right here. As long as we hit KPI, but they need to also be aware of what KPI is. And KPI doesn't just translate to like setter or closer positions, but it also directly translates to VA positions, client success, fulfillment, retention, right? What are the numbers you need to hit that you're responsible for and you take ownership on in order to earn your money, earn your pay? And then assuming you hit that for an extended period of time, here's what you will be making by month 6, right? And then by, year 2. I had a really good conversation with Nolan and Rachel. Their YouTube video's coming out soon. And it was really freaking good. And I talked to them and I was like, guys, we kind of touched on it too, but I want you guys to touch on it a little bit more. There's so many people that are like working with us in the program that are stuck, like naturally. Like there's going to be a bunch of people that you'll have your top 10% that just absolutely dominate, right? You guys in the top 10%. Then you'll have the other 10% that are like, dude, they don't really do anything. They kind of stay in the same position. And then like 80% will get decent results. They'll make some more money, but even then they'll plateau pretty quick. In terms of the top 10%, one thing Nolan and Rachel said, because I asked them, I was like, what is the biggest thing? And it was really interesting. They said, dude, it all starts with your health. And I was like, okay, like I get that. I get that conceptually, but he's like, no, dude, people don't get it. They don't understand. It's like every single day I am he's like, we're up at 4 and we go for a run and we go to the gym. And like when we're running and we're at the gym and like our endorphins are going, our blood's flowing, I'm making triage calls and I'm setting appointments because I am jacked and I am amped. And he's like, in every single sales call that I'm on and every single freaking triage call that I make, every time I talk to someone, my energy is high to the point where Rachel even tells me like, chill out. But like, I'm so excited to talk to them. I'm calling and be like, Johnny, what's up, dude? I saw you filled out a lead form. You looking to grow the business? How soon you looking to get started? You want to start tomorrow?
Oh, I want to start in 2 weeks. Dude, why do you want to start in 2 weeks? Why not right now? They're just so excited. And there's been multiple times they've closed people. And then when they ask, why did you decide to move forward with us? They're like, I just wanted whatever you were having.
I wanted to smoke with this man.
They're like, he's like, I just believe without a shadow of a doubt that I can close everybody I talk to and I can make them so much more money in return. Like a delusional level of self-confidence. So the question is, A, do you guys agree with that? And B, how does one develop a delusional level of self-confidence when you don't have it in the first place?
So the question is, how do you develop a delusional level of self-confidence if you don't have it?
Yeah. I feel like I always have, even before business. Like,
It reminds me of that Lightning McQueen quote, or that he's like, how did you know you could win it? And he goes, well, I just never thought I could.
Yeah, it is.
It's like wow, why not, right? Like nobody's special in this world. It just all comes down to work ethic and fast action, right? It's like, no offense, like you're not better than anybody else here. Anybody else can do this. It's just all about like how badly do you really want it? You know what I mean? And I think that's the
like confidence definitely comes from it comes from a stack of proof, right? Like case studies, like, okay, I've done this 10 times and made these clients a lot of money. And then it's much easier at that point. I think more specifically, the question is, how do you develop that in the beginning when you don't have case studies? Like when you haven't really done it yet?
But I think there's a difference between confidence in like the system and confidence in yourself. Because I think regardless, like even before I had any clients, I was confident that I could figure it out. Like I'm always confident that I can make something happen, or that I'll give it my all and like try my best. Because if you put it all out on the field, and Hormozy says it, like no half measures, I really like that, because it's like if you give it your all and you fail, it's like, okay, like I tried. But if you for lack of better terms, just like dick around and not really,
we all have the same 24 hours, right?
yeah. So it's like the self-confidence is in yourself. It has to be internal with yourself, not just like with the system. That's still important, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think your question is but if you don't have that, what do you do? How do you?
There's a lot of guys that struggle with it, and they've been struggling with it for a while.
Yeah. And
like I've had calls with guys that have been working with us for like 4, 5, 6 months, and they're still in the same position, even if they do have proof. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But like, even if they do have proof, there's a few of them. And I look back and I'm like, dude, you crushed it for these guys. Like they're getting minimum 5x return. Like just look at the freaking numbers in the sheet, and they're still like, yeah, but just like, I just want it to be better. Like, well, yeah, it can always be better. You should always have the mentality that you can always be providing better results for your clients. But you can't allow that to like destroy your morale and think that you don't know what you're doing.
I feel like it kind of has to do with comparing yourself to others. I think that's what people are doing.
Comparison is the thief of joy, right?
Yeah, I think that's where the lack of self-confidence comes for some people, and I'm kind of assuming here of like, maybe they look at somebody else and are like, oh, they got a better result, therefore I suck, even if they got a slightly worse but still good result. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I think that, like, what do you do? I think it comes to, what's his name's book? Extreme ownership. Like first learning how to take extreme ownership, even if it's not your fault, but like to just force yourself to be like, okay, it's my fault anyway. I'm going to take responsibility for it. And like to come up with like an example. I don't even know how you would like, what would be a good example of extreme ownership where it's clearly not your fault, but it's your problem. Like you make it your problem, you make it your responsibility to
stop calling their leads.
Yeah, that's a great one. So you're working with your clients, you get them all these leads, but they're not making any money. Right? And this is why you track stuff, but it comes down to being able to call it. If they're not calling their leads, we're not sales. That's not what you hired us for, not to close your leads. You hired us to get you qualified leads, which we'll do, but if you don't call them, it's not going to work. So as the agency owner, as the marketing expert, extreme ownership isn't saying, well, that's your fault. Extreme ownership would picking up the fucking phone, going to your client's lead list and going down the list and dialing them to show your client how to do it.
Yeah.
How many times in the group has somebody been like, dude, I just called like 10 of my clients' leads and booked 4 calls for them?
Who was it? I think, was it you? When you talk about your client?
Oh, it was you.
Yeah, I I was telling him, so me and Ridgeman were in the car yesterday, and I was telling him, like, dude, like my roofing client got like six or seven leads in like in the first week of running these like roofing campaigns, and then he said a bold claim. He's like, all these leads are bad, none of them are good, and they're like fake phone numbers. I called 3 of them. The first guy picked up, and I actually got his address, and I scheduled an appointment. 24 hours later, I texted my client, said, hey, listen, I got you an appointment. You show up. Here's the address. And he's like, don't do my job for me. Like, what are you doing? I was like, listen, buddy, I'm on the same page as you. I want the most success for you. I'm only here to help you. And he took offense to it. He's like, don't do my job for me. He's like, I want this to work as much as you do, but like, don't step in and do my job.
You're still working with him?
Yeah, I'm still working with him, but it's like, listen, man, do you want to make more money? I want you to make more money. That's why
That's a red flag. I was just gonna say, red flag, by the way. Like, in terms of like a leader, what the fuck? Like, dude, if I was paying somebody and they came to me, which happens, by the way, a lot, because we got great team members, they'll come to me and be like Aaron, for example, he'll come to me and he'll be like, hey, dude, I was just looking through your funnel. I noticed like the watch rate's really low. It's actually due to the hosting page. Like, we need to put it on Vidalytics instead of YouTube, so I can actually see the analytics, and then we can see where the fall off is, and then we can maybe revise the VSL if we need to take out certain parts, so we have increased retention, which then it results in increased self bookings. What am I going to do? Be like, don't do my job. Be like, no, you're making me more money. Thank you. Right? And so like, if anybody says that, it's like, okay, it's an ego problem. Like, if you actually want to make money, you got to kill that shit. You got to put it down. Like, you know how many marketing agencies would actually do something like that? None of them. Like, none of them. Like, they're notorious for, you guys know, you talk to business owners and they got burned all the time, constantly. They're always getting burned because agencies don't know how to take accountability for shit that they're not accountable for. Now, there's a difference between being taken advantage of and going above and beyond, right? It's like, understand where the line is. Don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. But when someone needs a little help, go prove the concept real quick. Because you can either tell your clients, bro, just call your leads. Oh, you're not doing a good job. Go do this, do that. Instead, just calling them and then just proving and going, hey, by the way, the ones you said that were dead, I set appointments for you. They answered. I just triple dialed. And that's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. Because then they're going to either get the idea and go, okay, I know what to do now. And that's kind of embarrassing. Or they're going to say shit like that. And then it's going to be like, what would you prefer I do? Because at the end of the day, if this guy closes, that's an extra of what? $10,000, $20,000 in profit for you that I just came in to do. Like, a thank you would be pretty nice. But I will say too, have you implemented Setter for your clients, or are you just doing it for you?
Just myself, sober.
You start doing that, bro. Like, we need to start rolling that out. We're doing it for a couple guys in like the Ascension, and like it's pretty good so far. It's like, that's the next problem to solve, right? It's like, if you want to have a really good offer, understand at the end of the day what's the problem we're solving, and then how can we solve even more, and then stack it, charge more, like upsell. Right? So the next step in the funnel.
A no-brainer offer, right? Like, the offer is already a no-brainer. It's like, you want to grow your business, you have to get more leads, and that's how you get more sales, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, for you, I think that's the next step. I think you'll have it done within like a month or two.
You know what I mean? I'm done tomorrow. I had it done 2 hours ago, actually. But dude, I have a buddy who I met here locally, and his business model is really cool. He's a marketing agency, but they don't just market and deliver leads. They deliver leads to themselves. And then he has his internal setting and closing team set appointments, and then they go through and close, and they pass off the close and the money to their clients. Very, very niche. Like, it's a very specific blue collar. I don't even remember what kind of, I don't remember what the industry is. It's like sewage repair, like, dude, something really specific. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's so niche. And so what they do is they only work with those businesses, but basically their ads are like, do you want more jobs? We already have them closed. We will literally just give you the cash. And like, you just have to go fulfill. But they qualify hardcore. Like, they're like, we're going to look at your reviews, make sure that you have a solid team. You need to have this. You need to have these guys, full salary, full stack. Like, they're like, you need to be able to handle the workload properly. And then we will pass it off and then just take a percentage of the profit. And I'm like, that's baller. But the only reason they can really do that is because he had that business model before. And so it's kind of like an interesting form of arbitrage. This is advanced. Anyone listening to this, don't do this if you're just starting off. But I was like, dude, this is super cool, because they did the model before, but he was like, dude, I didn't want to manage a fulfillment team. I enjoyed the marketing more. So instead what I did is I basically white label and outsource all the fulfillment. So they basically are the company, but instead of having their own fulfillment teams, they just bring on clients that pay them a set rate monthly, and then they just deliver jobs and take a percentage of the profit, which is really interesting. And I think it's a good example of solving as many problems for your clients as you can, because the more you solve, the easier you make it for them, the more money they're going to pay you. So like that mentality, that mindset of like structuring a really good offer is wasn't
It opens up so many other things for them too. Like they can focus on other aspects of the business that there's bottlenecks in, and they can potentially fix those. And while you're handling the entire marketing, they can focus on the sales, or they can focus on other areas in the business, so they can ultimately scale, right? That's the whole goal.
Your guys' clients that you're working with, the ones that are crushing, that make a ton of money, this is the best question, right? That are absolutely dominating, and the ones that suck, that can't for some reason make shit work. What's the difference?
Sales. It's all sales, honestly. It's all sales. And I have this on my page, and actually when Joey and I had a mini podcast, I said the same thing. 2 remodeling companies, they both spent $2,500 on ads. One made $360,000. And actually, funny enough, I just had another one spend about the same amount, $2,500, and he just made $360,000.
She did work with remodelers.
Honestly, yeah. So it's happened twice.
Same KPI as 2 different companies.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So what's the similar?
So, but the other one, there was a third one, also spent about $2,500, but they only made $50,000. And all of them are in Wisconsin. They all essentially ran the same thing. It was for basement remodels. And the difference is that the $50K guy, he, for one, wasn't really much in contact with me. He didn't call his leads as fast as he could, and he didn't follow up with them, compared to the guys who like are just religiously calling the leads and following up with them, texting them, like all that type of stuff. It just comes down to sales. Like in most situations, sometimes the leads could be shitty, but that's also why it's like they have us on their team to make the leads better, or at least like more attractive. Yeah, exactly. And
I feel like they got to be resilient too, right? They can't just like call somebody once if they don't pick up, like just give up.
Yeah.
No, like I have a client who has made $1 million with me in the last 4 months, which is kind of crazy to say. They only spent $12,000, which I don't even know what the ROAS. I think it's like, every dollar you made in 60 or something like that. But I asked him, I was like, dude, what's the reason behind your success? Because I have, other clients, and some of them are doing good, some of them are not. It's like, why you? Why are you, seeing so much success? And he's like, dude, it's because it's money on the table at the end of the day. That's what it is. And so who am I?
you find those leads.
Exactly. If he's like, it's money on the table at the end, like, who am I to say, okay, I'm just going to call this guy 1 or 2 times. If they don't answer, like, oh, it just doesn't work. No, like he's calling them for like at least a month straight. And even beyond that, he's calling them every day. And now he's not having to work in the field. And this is the one, we had a conversation. He's like, dude, the one thing that I really wanted to do is not be in the field so much and just be at the desk, like focusing on like actually closing more sales. And now he's living that life. And now he's hiring more people. He's building out his team, and the sky's the limit now. So.
Are these guys primarily the ones that are crushing, right? Like does it have more to do with their sales skill sets when they're in front of the customer, or do you think it has more to do with their consistent, relentless follow-up?
Yeah, my client, all the calls I get on, I ask them what their close rate is. Every single one is post 80%. And
Close rate on referrals or close rate on?
That's why I ask them, and it's always warm leads.
Yeah.
The one guy who said that, who moved forward with me, who said, yeah, once they're in the door, I close them. It's like, okay, we'll take your word for it. He closes with me. We move forward. I'm getting him like a $24 CPL. As soon as those people walk through the door, this is what he said to me. He says, they're not there for he sells hot tubs. They're not there for a hot tub. They don't know this, but they're here for me. They saw my face. They see me. Once they talk to me, once they get that feeling, right, of that communication, conversation, that personal touch, he's like, then I can show them hot tubs. Otherwise, you're not entering my showroom until you talk to me. And that was his mindset. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Motherfucker did like $300,000 in 2 months just from the leads, all because he knew how to have the conversation with the people.
Okay.
And he dials his leads relentlessly. Yeah.
Well, I think that another point on that is it's less to do with like talking directly with the individual. I think that is important, but I think more so is it sounds like this dude knows how to sell the outcome they want, not sell a hot tub. Like, why do they want the hot tub?
Hot tubbing. He sells hot tubbing. What a hot tub.
What is hot tubbing?
The sport.
Wait. What's the sport? Yeah. What is this?
The simply. Yeah, he doesn't sell hot tubs. He sells hot tubbing.
What is that?
I don't know. He said it. He said it. I was like, okay, sure.
Hold on. Hold on a second. Does he sell hot tubs physically?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like $20,000.
See, what you're saying is, okay, I get it now. It's clicking. I was so confused at first. I'm like, hold on. Are you telling me that people pay him to sell a sport?
Like, put your trunks on. Let me show you how to do it.
I was like, it's the new.
This is why I'm at 20K a month.
You're saying psychologically he's selling hot tubbing, and then they buy the hot tub.
Yep.
What does that mean though? How do you sell hot tubbing? You sell like the
experience, sell the dream.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Type of thing.
People aren't buying a hot tub for the physical shell. They're buying a hot tub because they want to spend quality time with their friends. They want to build out their backyard. What? So they want the bubbles. Yeah, that makes sense. That's huge too. It's like selling into the.
He knew that before he even worked with me.
Yeah.
So it's different though compared to what Jason and I just said. Because Jason and I said sales doesn't really matter as much as consistency does, and you're saying that you're kind of saying that the sales.
I think the consistency gives you the opportunity to sell. The consistency gives you the opportunity. If you didn't dial up time, he would have picked it up.
It's like both of them. Then essentially, it's consistency and at least being able to close. Obviously, if you don't even know how to ask for the sale, then you're never going to get it. But
you have to have a little bit of both, right? You have to have a little bit of both. If you have consistency, but you suck sales, like
it's probably
yeah. Conversation. It is both. Yeah, I do think like if you were to prioritize one or the other, like consistency alone will get you significantly more volume and at bats to sell more. Volume negates luck. Yeah. 100%. A little Hormozy over here. Just like this. Yeah. And now that you guys have experienced selling ads offers and just organic like videos, like just deliver the videos, how important is it to sell ads? Because I asked, there's so many videographers we talk to that are like, I don't want to be a sellout. I just want to do what I love and like make cool videos. And like, I don't want to do that. That's somebody else's job. I hear that all the time. Now that you've experienced selling both, what would you say?
Organic ever again in my life. I'm only keeping it for the clients that are on now because they did it before I realized I shouldn't be doing it.
We all came from a background of organic. I mean, you were creating organic. I was working with a video production company doing, organic stuff. And for the most part, it was, going on the website or going on YouTube or whatever it was. And it's like, at the end of the day, cool videos, what does it really do for you? Like, it doesn't really do anything for you besides watch time, but like there's no tracking involved with that. You don't know who's opting in to your video or whatever it is. But with ads, you know exactly what it costs to acquire a lead, and then you can figure out what it costs to acquire a client. And if you know what it costs to acquire a client, well, what do you think you have to do? You just have to spend more money.
I was gonna say, I think for me, like sales got a ton easier when I did that switch of pivoting to only ads, because with like you almost had to convince and like oversell organic and stuff like that, because people didn't really understand it and they didn't fully think it would help them, but they're like, oh yeah, it would maybe be nice. But like ads, it's so simple. It's like, do you want more money? Yes. Okay, this is how you make more money. Like here's the metrics to back that. It's not just me saying it. Because it's also like nobody can say that ads don't work. It's not like a yes, no, like yes they work or no they don't work. It's always it's always a continuum.
There's a reason Meta has hundreds of millions of dollars funneled through it every single day.
Yeah, it's you're pathetic if you say that ads don't work, or that you're oh, I'm going to rely on word of mouth and referrals.
Yeah,
you can, and you're just not going to grow your business.
You're scared to spend money.
Yeah.
The only reason people say ads don't work is because they've tried it once before. They didn't use the right strategy or techniques. I spent $200. Like, oh, they don't work. It's like, no, you just don't know how to make them work yet because you don't have the skill yet.
That's a real thing. Like we talk to a lot of business owners, and it's like, oh yeah, we're running ads. Okay, well let's look behind the curtain a little bit. What are you actually doing? Like, let's pull up the ad library and look at your ads. Oh, we're just running like 1 or 2 picture ads. What's your daily budget? Yeah, it's nationwide. We're spending $5 a day. It's nationwide. We're spending $10 a day. I'm like, dude, come on. What are you doing here? Like, that's the only way with Meta is obviously just building more trust and, having a compelling offer. And you can't really get that same message out through a picture ad. Maybe you can, but video is a lot easier to grab attention and actually build more trust.
How do you reframe that belief though?
I say, well, listen, why are we on this call? You saw my ad, you trusted me enough to actually fill out the form, and now we're having a conversation. That exact strategy is what we do with 30, 40 plus other clients. It's like,
yeah, because you just ask them what made you click. Because if they're like, oh, well, I saw, that you could make me more money potentially. It's like, okay, but why click? It's like, well, because I want to know more money. Yeah. And that's like, okay, well, imagine we had a message for your customers. Let's say it's like a roofer. It's like nobody knows you exist. That's the biggest thing I think I've realized. Like even in Wisconsin or wherever you're targeting, like I probably scratched just like 1%, maybe like 5% of like the total market in just Wisconsin. Like nobody knows you exist, and that part of it, as well as having a good message of selling your roof to, you know, Susan down the street. It's like Susan, right? she's scrolling, and it's like then she's gonna see like, oh shit, I do need, you know, my roof leak fixed because it's just been dripping everywhere. You know, I don't know if that happens, but
Yeah, you're reaching people before they even think about
yeah,
searching.
it's interruption versus intent. Well, and people still are highly intent, but they're not just like searching on Google. Like,
Yeah, like with other forms of marketing, word of mouth, referrals, Google, all that stuff, you're only reaching people that are actively thinking about it and like searching for it. But like with cold traffic, you're creating the demand. You're putting yourself out there in front of more
creating
people.
the interest.
You're getting the interest. You're getting them in that FOMO state of mind. And when you do that to enough people, you know, chances are something's going to happen with that.
I don't think people understand the value of like when you work with us, right? We call it the flywheel for a reason, because so many guys are like, well, I can't sell ads yet until I have some good case studies and I have confidence knowing exactly what it is that I'm doing, and that could be my Uber. Oh, probably. Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Is it okay? We're gonna end it. It's like going to a like a pilot. You want to learn how to fly a commercial plane, and then you get on a plane to go fly somewhere, and then you get off the plane after they've successfully flown you and landed it, and then you ask the pilot, you're like, hey man, how do I know you can teach me how to fly a plane though? And he just looks at you like, well, I got you here, didn't I? Right? So anyway, what was the question you were gonna ask? Last thing.
What's like the biggest objection you get?
Me?
Yeah.
At this point, literally, it is people saying, it just sounds too good to be true. Like, it doesn't sound like it's like I can even do that.
How do you help people get out of their own way when it comes to that?
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. And a lot of times, you can't even lead the horse to the water in the first place.
One of the things I learned was like, and you know this, but like the moment you are scared shitless.
Yeah.
The moment where like shit hits the fan, your back's against the wall, you're like, everything hurts. It doesn't matter what I think, blink, do, or like everything is just like hitting you. That's when you have to jump.
It's unfortunate because that's 100% true across the board. Like, people will not make change until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. Like, they have to hit that point before they actually do something, which is weird because I don't think that way. Like, I've spent over $100,000 on coaches, mentorship programs over the past couple of years, a shit ton of money. And I always spend it before I face the problem. Because like, I know it's going to happen. I know shit's going to get hard. I know I don't know everything. And there's a shit ton I still have to learn. And so I'm constantly paying that. And unfortunately, people don't do that. Whether it's like,
how did you get to that point though, to where you can?
I did it once. I paid a mentor once when I was in so much pain. I was on unemployment, right? I was overdrawn on my checking account. Rent was due. I had no friends. I moved to a brand new city. It was just me and my dog. I didn't know anyone. I was going to networking events. It was so bad I didn't have a choice. And I had to pull out a loan. But this dude was basically like, all I can say is trust me. And for some reason I did it, and I was scared shitless. And I saw what happened from it. And from that point forward, I was like, holy fuck, dude, if I did this a year prior, I wouldn't have gone through this shit. And I know, and I figured out at that point, there's always going to be new levels of shit I have to learn. And so if I can just continue paying the next person to teach me how to do it properly, then I'll never have to be in this position again. Ignorance debt, yeah, 100%. And so literally people will choose not to work with us most of the time because they'll hear it and they'll go, and we even tell them realistically, like, dude, I'm not going to guarantee anything. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to make this much money. Here's what some people are doing. Like, guys are making freaking $50,000 in like 3 months, 2 months. Then there's some people that take 4 months to hit like 10 or 15, right? I can't guarantee anything. It's just up to you. Even then, so many people are like, that just seems too good to be true. They just don't believe it's an option. Even if I started telling people, if you don't like double your investment by the end of the 4 months, I will just give you the money back. They don't even believe I'm going to do that. I'll show them the agreement. I'll be like, I'm contractually obligated to pay you back. They just sit there. So at the end of the day, not everyone's meant to make a lot of money, achieve great success. We do need people, unfortunately, for the economy to work jobs, be employees, and unfortunately stay below a certain threshold. So it is just the nature of the world. Like, you can't close everybody. You can't have everybody join what you have to offer, pay you, and then bring them a lot more success and money. It's just how it goes. As difficult as it is, because when you know, like, dude, I have the keys of the kingdom right here, you just have to take the key and open the door, but you have to be the one to step through it. I can't open it. I can't push you through it. You have to be the one to do it. Some people just can't stomach it, right? And that's what, going back to initially we talked about in the beginning of this video, was everybody says they want to make more money. Few people ever actually scrape the surface because they just simply don't have what it takes. They don't have the confidence and conviction to be able to make it happen. They're not willing to take risks. They're way too risk averse. And then another 5 years goes by and they wonder why the fuck they're in the same position, because they didn't want to take action. It goes with your clients, with the guys that we're helping. It's all across the board. It's how it is. So if you're watching this video and you're like, yeah, F that. Okay, I want to be like these dudes. Go ahead and hit us up. But also, or if you're like a service business that's watching this and like these guys are here for a reason. You don't make a shit ton of money unless you're an insane scam artist, but those guys get shut down real quick. Like people will figure out if you're stealing money. Like you don't go far with that, right? The only reason these guys are scaling as quick as they are and they're making the money they are is because they're able to print money for their clients. Not every single one of them though. And that's the other thing you have to realize. You will not have a 100% client success rate. It doesn't exist, because if you did, everybody would be rich and everybody would go to you. It's not how it works. But the ones that do succeed, you need to focus on what those people are doing. Whether it's you're a videographer and you want to figure out how to scale your business, whether you're a service business, you want to figure out how to get more lead flow, you need to ask this question of, okay, the guys that these guys are helping, instead of focusing on the ones, well, like, what about the ones that don't get results? What's happening with them? Why are they broke? Why are they losing their money? Don't you think it's a little more productive to focus on, well, hold on, the 10% of your clients that are absolutely printing $1 million off of $12,000 in spend? What are they doing? Right? It's the last thing that I'll say. It's target fixation. My dad, he was in Delta. He was a Ranger, went to Delta, tier 1 operator in the military. He taught me this lesson early on, and that is target fixation will kill you, because they did target practice. They're clearing rooms. They breach, they go and they clear rooms, and they're moving quick. And there are hostages, and then there were the actual hostiles, right? Cardboard cutouts. They'd go in, and they were tasked with, don't hit a hostage. If you do, you're immediately out and you won't make it to Delta. This was during selection. 300 guys went in, 9 came out, actually made it to Delta, and my dad was one of them. And he said, Ridge, you know why? I was one of the 9 guys that actually made it through. And he said, it's because when I went in, the only thing I was thinking of is target, pull the trigger. Where's the target? Pull the trigger. Where's the target? He's like, I didn't even acknowledge the hostages. I didn't even pay attention to them. I just looked at where's the target. There's where I'm fixated. That's where I'm going to shoot. Why did all the other guys hit the hostages? Because they went in saying, don't hit the hostage, don't hit the hostage, don't hit the... They were fixated on not hitting the hostage. And look what happened to them. Now they're still in the same position. They couldn't make it in. So target fixation is a very real thing. So if you actually want to make money, you actually want to break past your constraints, your bottlenecks, you need to ask the question of what are these guys doing differently, and don't even fucking pay attention to the ones that are not performing. Because then you're going to get in your head, you're going to self-doubt, you're not going to have the confidence it takes, because none of these guys are special. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. That's for sure. Like, dude, I'm kind of retarded sometimes. like literally, dude, if you were here watching me set the freaking cameras up with the light, it's so funny. I'm like, these guys are like, how? Hey guys, so it's the light bulb. That's super low. It was so funny. So
we were at dinner. We were like, we should not be making this. I mean, this is horrible.
Anyway, any last thoughts?
That was a mic drop ending.
Trust me, if anyone could do it, you guys can fucking do it too, okay? That's it. All right. That's a wrap. Right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Keep crushing it.